We're following some breaking news out of southern Colorado. A mobile home community has been evacuated because of a wildfire. The Applewood fire near I-25 in Colorado City, about 27 miles south of Pueblo. The Pueblo County Sheriff's Office says several homes have been burned. No injuries have been reported, and an evacuation center has opened in Pueblo. There is no size on the fire yet, and the cause is still under investigation. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Angela McCall. Our other top story of the day is the weather. The worst of the severe storm threat is over, although there are still some lingering storms. Lightning has been popping off across the metro. This is video from just a few minutes ago of the storms lighting up the night sky. Perhaps you saw them yourself. Let's head over to meteorologist Jaden Knowles. Jaden, a severe thunderstorm warning just expired just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's right, Angela. It just expired right at 10 p.m. Up towards Boulder. I did a cut in for that because of the quarter-sized hail. But, I mean, we are seeing a beautiful lightning show. If you're taking the dogs out this morning, that shows you how long I've been working. This evening so far, but we're at 68 degrees. But looking at live radar as of right now, there's that storm cell that went through Boulder. It had quarter-sized hail with it, so that's one of the main reasons why the National Weather Service issued that severe thunderstorm warning. You can see it's starting to slightly lose intensity just a little bit, about to move towards Broomfield, and we're still tracking some heavy downpours of rain just towards the east of Boulder as well and east of Brighton. But for the most part, we've been tracking severe storms really all throughout the afternoon hours, mainly for the eastern plains. We saw a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. Luckily, no tornado warnings. We still have that severe thunderstorm watch that will continue until midnight tonight. That's mainly towards portions of Lamar and just towards the southeastern portions of the state. But as of right now, though, temperatures are still on the warm side, the upper 60s. We're going to stick around with the upper 60s as we head into tomorrow morning. But here's my forecast for tomorrow, 88 degrees. But yeah, we're going to be tracking some more severe weather, mainly towards the eastern plains. I'll talk about the timing and the details in my full forecast. Angeline?
Thanks so much, Jaden. We now know that lightning sparked a small wildfire in Douglas County that forced evacuations at one point. The log jumper fire was burning near Jackson Creek Road and Rampart Range Road near the Devil's Head Recreation Area. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office says the fire is about an acre in size and at last check was 80% contained. No word yet from officials if that has changed. Denver's hot housing market has been cooling off in recent years. From a new report from the Denver Metro Association of Realtors, they found new listings dropped in May for only the third time in 8 years. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause joins us now. And Rachel, experts say they are seeing this trend firsthand.
Yeah, a realtor I spoke with is on the Denver Metro Association of Realtors Market Trends Committee. He's seeing fewer listings pop up in the past few months. For buyers, that's offering time and flexibility, but for sellers, he says they're having to be more motivated and more realistic on price.
Yeah, we were so excited to move to Denver.
Work relocations can be tough.
Yeah, for sure.
For Tyler and Marie Sullivan, the move to Denver from Houston is a dream.
Stoked. It's a good opportunity for work. And then obviously just we're big hikers and we love the outdoors. And so when Denver came calling, we were pretty pumped. So
and they know what they want. AC, garage, 2 floors. That's a lot with Denver's high cost of living. But prices are dropping. Realtor.com reports Denver's median listing price dropped 7.8% year over year to $539,000. Good news for buyers.
We were encouraged by that, buyers do have a little bit more power than they had in the past.
There's certainly a cool down effect.
Realtor Andrew Abrams is seeing Denver's hot housing market cool for costs and customers.
I've had quite a few sellers that are leaving Colorado. It's definitely a mixed bag, but overall, I think there's been a personal motivation for leaving Colorado, and then cost of living, I think, is a little cherry on top for them to leave.
The Denver Metro Association of Realtors found new home listings dropped in May for only the third time in 8 years. Abrams believes it's motivation.
And at the start of the year, buyers were really motivated.
What's historically been a busy time of the year has been slowing earlier and earlier since COVID.
Normally we see a almost over 9% increase in active listings, and this year we didn't. And I think a lot of that has to do with the start of the year, things start moving fast, and then that slowdown, you almost have to recalculate as you reset expectations with where the market is. And with seasonality, that can change pretty fast.
Slowdown in supply is something that Marie and Tyler are seeing as they get serious about buying.
We're like, well, it'll be fine because there's so many. And even though the ones we like seem to go quick, like it'll be okay. And then as it got closer to when we really had a move date, I started to get a little nervous. And I was like, well, okay, the ones I really liked are all gone.
they're not losing hope on finding their dream Denver home.
But no, we're hopeful that maybe some people will be in sort of like second wave now that summer's hit, that they'll decide to go ahead and list their house. And hopefully it's one that's just right for us.
Abrams says he's expecting to see new listings and prices continue to flatline over the next few months. And while that's not great news for sellers, he says that can make it easier for buyers to get in without being priced out. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
All right, thanks, Rachel. A mountain biker is safe after falling about 200 feet down a steep terrain on Calico Trail yesterday afternoon in Dolores County. This happened in an area about an hour south of Telluride and west of Rico. Dolores County Search and Rescue responded to a call of an injured mountain biker, along with help from San Miguel County. Crews also helped there. The victim is a 36-year-old man from Telluride. Rescue crews say he was riding with 2 friends when he fell about 200 feet down a steep slope. Now, the 2 other riders and other first responders used satellite messages to alert rescue crews. He was taken back to the trailhead and then taken to the hospital. No word on how he's doing. A crash on I-70 has left a historic Colorado sign in pieces. Lower Valley Fire District responded to the crash on I-70 just west of the Colorado-Utah border yesterday evening. Fire officials say the driver was in a van pulling a cargo trailer when it blew a tire on the highway. That caused the driver to lose control and go off the road, crashing into the Leaving Colorado sign. No serious injuries were reported.
And it's wire to wire for Wyndham. Let's go, go! And a second U.S. Open championship.
Denver native Wyndham Clark held his nerve to capture his second U.S. Open golf title in 4 years. Clark nearly blew a 6-stroke lead in the final round before holding on for a 1-stroke victory. 9 News sports anchor Chris Tavares is here now to break down his performance. He really pulled through in the end.
He did, and he needed a strong start. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, but it mattered how he started this week at Shinnecock Hills. Clark basically grabbed a huge lead on Thursday and then ran away and hid, coming into today's final round with a 6-stroke lead. He saw it shrink to just 1 shot a couple of times during today's final round, but a great shot out of the rough on 16, helping set him up for birdie to go back up 2 strokes. He bogeyed 17, but still is able to 2-putt on 18 and a great first putt on his final hole, setting up an easy tap-in for him to lock up a 1-stroke win and his second major championship. His second U.S. Open win as well after winning the same tournament in 2023 at the LA Country Club.
Man, I mean, the first one was amazing, and this one seems even better. I think especially after such a sour taste last year in this championship, to have some redemption and win this again is, I mean, gosh, it's almost surreal.
You hear him talking about last year. He failed to make the cut at the U.S. Open at Oakmont, and then he had a now famous or infamous reaction where he destroyed a couple of lockers in the Oakmont clubhouse. So just a year to get back on top from the lowest point of his career to now where he's the U.S. Open champion. We're going to have more on that redemption of him coming up later on in sports.
Yeah, an amazing comeback story, especially after such a low point to then excel and get to this spot.
And he hasn't shied away from it at all. He owns it, says, I deserve all the ridicule that I got from the fans. The fans were actively rooting against him, which you rarely ever see in golf. But he says he kind of brought it on himself, but in a far better spot now.
Kind of a, we'll show him kind of mentality, right?
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Yep.
Now to the latest on the peace talks in Iran. Negotiators for Iran and the U.S. met in Switzerland for the first day of talks. They're looking to turn a 60-day ceasefire into lasting peace. The talks ended with Iranian negotiators insisting on an end to the war between U.S. ally Israel and the Iranian-backed militant group Hezbollah. The talks had an intense start after President Trump issued threats against Iran. Trump threatened to hit Iran, quote, very hard again, just like last week, only harder if Iran doesn't bring its proxies under control. He said that on social media. The talks are set to continue for the rest of the week.